Welcome, everyone. We had a we have a cicada orchestra over there where Prasada is. Welcome to Souls Enterprise Souls Check-in Daily Invocation. We're delighted you are with us. This is your source of inspiration and information for your healing, attainment, and liberation. We're going to continue our conversation about the body. I will be honest, I wanted this week to be about the body because it's one of my favorite topics for many, many reasons. I am very body based, but I'm also very afraid of what comes up in my own body. So, if that is any clue to the healing journey and wherever you might be, I hope you relate. And where you do, then this you will find very useful today.
So today, this week, thank you, Karuna for that request to get into the body. Let's get into the body. Or if that's a little bit too much, let's just try and relax. If that's too much, let's take a breath. If that's too much, just listen to my voice. And the staccatos, if that's too much. We have many options. In these options, we can explore. So Karunadar and I were talking about the invitation to explore today. Invoke, look at how the body defends itself. We talked a lot about trauma. There's a lot of trauma in the collective. We are really passionate about the trauma to triumph immersion coming up. And like Karunadara was saying, sometimes it can be scary being in the body. Sometimes it can be intense being in the body, good and bad, and I'll talk about the good in a moment. But first, let's just invoke here exploration. Check in of how the body defends itself.
So just noticing what that comes up, what that brings up as a response within you. Because another way to say or talk about the body's defenses, known or unknown to us, is also how to let bliss in. And I'm using bliss very broad here in terms of all the goodness. So today we wanted to share with you, yes, there are things and ways that our body is defending us. And those defenses are also sometimes defending us and keeping out the goodness, the good feelings that can exist in the body on the emotional, spiritual, on every level. So, for those of you, there are some of you that listen to us and are aware that you've had some trauma in your life, that you've experienced some trauma under any possible category. There are others of you that aren't as aware, or maybe look at your childhood experience as okay enough, or there was some bad times, but it wasn't that bad. And that's okay. That's why we talk a lot about the effects and the results, because even if you don't identify as a trauma survivor per se, if you leave that to one side of the spectrum, although we might challenge that a little bit, still you can get a lot out of these conversations, because no matter what, we've all been conditioned to be outside of our bodies. That is simply the way our society works. And again, with that conditioning, we're also keeping out bliss, ecstasy. When I dance, which is my number one way of meditation for me, that's what works for me. I am out of my mind and in my body, out of my mind in a good way. Mindlessness, emptiness, sitting in that space that meditation, sitting meditation brings to a lot of us. For me, that is dance, because when I'm fully or more fully in my body, that is one of the most powerful places for me to be. And to undo, allow the body. I'm not trying to do it, I'm not talking about it. I'm simply allowing the body to do and work its own magic, to be its own medicine and antidote to the conditioning of disassociation or just not fully being and feeling into what's happening right here and right now in this body.
Kunadera's favorite meditation is dancing movement. Todd's favorite meditation right now is breath work, which also breathes me into the body. That's my quick way in. This being co-created daily invocation. What's your way in or your exploration? What comes up as you invoke this exploration of how the body defends itself? Since 2019, I've been deep dive into somatic experiencing, this amazing healing modality to get into the body and explore trauma and release. So nowadays, I'm hanging out with my kidneys and adrenal glands a lot. And how, when there's any stimulation for me, they start secreting adrenaline, adrenal glands, adrenaline. So that's an awareness that came up for me. I'm just happy to share. And I want to take one more minute to dive in. Kunadera wonderfully brought up the word bliss, which I'm a fan of. And so in this exploration of how the body defends itself, yeah, the double-edged sword of that is it can also be a blanket on the bliss, or my word is the ecstasy. And so the more we heal and grow and transform, the more our body can hold the ecstatic states, the connected states, the blissful states, and beyond.
So back to my point on conscious and unconscious trauma, to put it simply, right? For example, here at the farm in Costa Rica, I get a massage every week, at least one massage every week. And I was pretty surprised to notice, to become aware this last week, that that's not my normal operations, right? When I'm in the city, I don't get a massage once a week, maybe once a month, but not once a week, even though I'm getting body work. And the body workers here are amazing, completely tuned in. I trance out, they trance out. I mean, it's beyond, it's another world type of massage. Even getting body work done, which is another way of releasing and being in our bodies. And self care is just another way of saying connecting, right? Still, every week, there is something being released in my body. I think that that was really powerful for someone who is a practitioner, who shares all the wisdom over 30 years combined we have together in these somatic, ancestral, etc. kind of healings that have a lot to do with the body. The earth is the body as well, the earth element. That still every week something new is showing up. So that's what I want to leave you with as a way of contemplation, invoking whatever support is needed for you to heal those parts that are still defending, still contracting, and still in the way for you to experience your core, your bliss, your ecstasy. So, one way to do it, we talked about dance and breath work. We check out our calendar of offerings for when those are, but this Saturday is Soul Steady Movement. It's a sensual sexual flow. So for those of us in particular who want to dive deeper into those parts of our physical nature, please do come. And even if those words scare you, I still invite you to come because there's always something to discover, just like my experience with massage this week. Many blessings.